Woo! What a month these last 2 weeks have been. It is C with C. Thanks for coming to chat with me. And this is the Monday Meetup, where every Monday between 7 and 8-ish p.m. we have some new content for you. And so yesterday I dropped my last bit in the Disney fantasy vlog series, which was to Greece. And this week, so that means today I'm just going to go live to basically recap a couple things. First, my trip on Royal Caribbean's Vision of the Seas. Oh, I'm making up stuff. First, to recap my trip on Royal Caribbean Jewel of the Seas, which was my first casino cruise. And then to give a quick snippet related to not me pinging. Then give a quick snippet related to, let me put myself on D&D, related to, there we go. Then give a quick snippet related to what Greece, traveling to Greece was like via cruise ship. So getting in here, again, everyone, my name is Carlene. This is my channel, See It With C. And let's see who we have here for tonight's Monday meetup. You guys get to see my lovely plant in the background. First up, we have Gina's World. Hi, Gina's World. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. We have Monet to the T. Hi, Monet. Thanks for being here. So yeah, tonight's Monday meetup is titled Review of Jewel of the Seas, which was a pleasant surprise. It was supposed to be a review of Jewel and Wonder of the Seas. However, my first night on Jewel of the Seas, I got some pretty bad news from my family. My uncle passed away, or learned that my uncle passed away. So I had to wrap up my trip. I was supposed to go Jewel to Wonder of the Seas. But after my trip on Jewel of the Seas, I had to head back home. And we did all the services last week. But to make up for it, I cranked out the Disney Fantasy, the rest of the Greece vlog for you. So it'll be like a little Jewel of the Seas, a little Greece on the side. And welcome in 10 people. My name is Carlene. This is the Monday Meetup, where every Monday at 7 to 8 p.m. Easternish, we have new content for you. And today we are live streaming, reviewing Jewel of the Seas, as well as wrapping up the Greece series and giving you all the behind the scenes things that I was not able to talk about or did not cover while I was in the actual video. But first, we got to thank His Queen Dar for being a new channel member. Welcome to the C-Suite, His Queen Dar. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you are so far enjoying the content back there. We have giveaways. I show vlogs related to things that I try out in the city. I am planning on doing a members only live stream. I think Monday who am I planning that one? Looking at my calendar, Monday, November 10th. So if you're around Monday, November 10th, I'm planning on doing a members only live stream on that day. So make sure you plug into that. And yeah, thanks for joining the membership. Who else we got here? People are trickling in. Monet, I think I said hi to you already. Welcome in. Lisa T, welcome in, girl. She says, hello, everyone, and happy Monday. Happy Monday, Lisa T. Thanks for being here. I had to have a scoop of my my yogurt. I am fresh out of the teaching streets. So that was my little dinner, that one scoop for the evening. Chris and Capers is here saying, hey, sugar. Hi, Chris and Capers. Thanks for being here. And you did a bunch of cruising. You got off of Aqua, and then I feel like you did another cruise right before Aqua, right after Aqua. I don't know, but welcome back. And hopefully you got to tell us about your time on Aqua. Let us know in the chat. Is it worth hopping on? What are your thoughts? I know it's so much controversy behind Norwegian Cruise Lines. Big Murph is in the building saying, hey, see, we'll see it, everyone in the chat. Hey, Murph, thanks for being here. Murph was watching, because I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning scrolling through the comments. Murph was up watching my series on Norwegian Prima, because as you all know, I'm hosting a group cruise on Norwegian Luna in 2027. So thanks, Murph, for catching that playlist. And it took me back down my memory lane as well. Anadisha is here saying, hey, happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Folks are sending condolences. Thank you, y'all. My family has been fortunate to not experience any loss, honestly, since my grandparents passed away. I mean, I had a couple of younger cousins who passed, and it was definitely sad for sure, but something about like losing an uncle, like your parents' sibling, that was so rough, and it was so unexpected. So yes, thank you for the condolences to to my family. We are processing it all, but it was cool. I was able to, the last time I saw my uncle on this side of the land of the living was 4th of July. So I have been dragging my feet about I was recording throughout the 4th of July gathering. My family, we had like 50 people in our backyard in Pennsylvania. So I was dragging my feet about editing the vlog that I created for my family for 4th of July, like all of the memories, not really vlog, but just kind of like a video recording of all the memories during that gathering. So when I got back on Friday, after the services, I put together a video, like a 20-minute video of my family's gathering from the 4th of July and shared it with my family members. And it was just beautiful to see my uncle and hear his voice again. So keep us lifted. My mom and aunts took it pretty hard. And we all just as children of them, like, you know, are processing it all. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. All the go Yellow is here. Saying hello. Hey, Yellow. Thanks for being here. Leader Shay is here. Hey, welcome in. Welcome in. I love your what is it called? Your thumbnail. So vibrant. And Big Mer says, I see you still got your snack on Dexy. Yes. Yeah, Mondays are my long day. It's not as long right now, but I still teach. You know, I'm caught up in the shenanigans I'm not going to talk about, but I still have a course that I teach on Monday evening. So I went to go teach the course, and literally, I tried to sneak out of class a little early, but today's students had a lot of questions. So I literally ran in here, grabbed the yogurt, grabbed some wine, and got on here. So let's talk about, I don't know if y'all want to talk about Greece first or Jewel of the Seas first. Put it in the chat. Do y'all want to talk about navigating island hopping in Greece? Or do y'all want to talk about my first, what is it called? Casino offer. So I finally took that first casino offer on Jewel of the Seas. Talk about that. Put it in the chat. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Let me know. And welcome in 23 people. I see it's a little, the comments are lagging. The comments are lagging. No votes coming through yet. It takes a little bit. Okay, I think we got some votes. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to scroll down. There's more comments. I'm sorry. Kristen Haber says, I loved Aqua. Good to know. And they're getting on Benicia in December. Yeah, I believe Benicia is transferring down to Miami at some point. So it'll be interesting. I want to get on Benicia for like one more time, or Forenza. I don't know. But I want to try that one more again. I was on it for 4 days. It was cool. I feel like I want to try like just a little longer sailing on that kind of class of ship. What up, Mark Hackett said, what up, C in chat? Happy Monday. Thank you. Thanks for the condolences. Folks are speaking. Thank you, Parker's on the go, for the condolences and checking in on me. I appreciate y'all so much. I got so many text messages, DMs, because it was an action-packed 2 weeks. But I'm grateful for all the lessons, the tough ones, and the easier ones for sure. It's all a part of living. Folks are speaking. Who we got here? Keisha H is in the building. The Riches are here. Saying hello, group hug, and hello to the chat. Thank you. I will take that group hug. Let's see. So, all right, we got our votes in about which one do y'all want to hear first. Do you want to hear Jewel of the Seas, or do you want to hear about, the clown show? I think that's a circus, right? No, that's a spot. I thought it was a circus. Okay. So the votes are in. So let's see. On the go, Yo says dealer's choice. I'm not sure if that's code for casino, but I think it's just my choice. Thank you, YOLO, for your vote. Parkers wants to hear about the casino. I think that's what it is. It looks tiny. Yeah, 777. I wish it was 777. Murph wants to hear about casino deal. Keisha H wants to hear about Greece. I think we got the casino folks want to hear about the casino. And Yellow says she wants to hear about Greece because the casino kicked her butt last week. And I think that's a good transition. So we're going to talk about the casino cruise because that's what I guess won the poll in the chat, and then we'll get into Greece. Because yes, Yellow, okay, y'all, I got into the whole casino universe of Casino Royale when I was on Star of the Seas, right? 3-day sailing. It was so easy to get points. Like, I think I left Star of the Seas with 750 points. It felt like the points were just coming. Like, I don't know. Jewel on the Seas, very stingy casino. And the points were like pulling teeth. So I guess let's talk about not the casino part. Let's talk about the ship, and then I'll get into the casino experience. Let's organize these thoughts a little bit. So, Jewel of the Seas, I was a little nervous at first because my first Royal Caribbean sailing was on Enchantment of the Seas, which is out of Baltimore. And I think I've told y'all before, Baltimore frequently gets these smaller ships because we got a bridge you got to navigate. So we usually get the older, smaller ships. So in my head back then was, hold on, I gotta get these lips together. So in my head, when I first got on Royal Caribbean, I thought all the ships were these big, huge Oasis class ships with water parks that you saw on the TV commercials. Well, I got on Enchantment and I was just like, this is a snooze fest. It was basically one big long ship. It didn't have a lot of personality for me, so I was kind of like good on that. So I've only done since then, I've done like Mariner, I've done Oasis of the Seas. So when the casino offer started kicking in, they said like, okay, you get deals for Jewel of the Seas, Vision of the Seas. I have deals for Grandeur. I have deals for Freedom. I was a little nervous because I was like, Laura, I don't want to get on like another one of these like really old ships. So I picked Jewel of the Seas. My plan was to get on Jewel of the Seas and then hop on Wonder. So I was like, okay, hopping on Wonder would like cure any of the trauma from like an old Royal Caribbean ship. Well, y'all, like I'm the kind of person that I kind of have like categories for my cruises. Like I have like a thing where either I get on a ship and I'm like, it grows on me. I have a thing where I survive a cruise. I survive, but like I get through a cruise and I'm kind of like, you know what? That was cool. Because I haven't had a bad cruise experience yet. But like I'll get off a ship and be like, you know what? I don't gotta get back on that ship. Then I have this whole thing where like sometimes I get on a ship and I immediately am like, oh my gosh, I love this ship. Definitely I could get back on it. That was my, and it was weird, immediate reaction for Jewel of the Seas. I boarded that ship and I was like, oh, this ship is charming. Like, I was the word I think I kept using all day long. If you were in the live stream, you kept hearing me say charming. It was smaller, of course, but like, it had so many things. Like, it had a cinema. I didn't know, like, that was a feature on ships, like, on Royal Caribbean ships. So, like, and they actually play movies throughout the day. So you can either do a movie on the Lido deck or you can go into the cinema. And honestly, I was on there for a longer cruise. I would have went to the cinema because they were playing Hocus Pocus. And, you know, love a good Halloween movie that's not too scary. So I got on Jewel and I immediately had this feeling of like, ooh, I can get back on the ship. And honestly, I got enough points at the casino that like if the things didn't pan out with my family the way that they did, I would have hopped back on Jewel right after Wonder to get those because I'm trying to get to Diamond. So I would have made Emerald this cruise. But anywho. So yeah, Jewel of the Seas had a night, and then it had like things. It had some of the new features. So it had an Izumi, not the hibachi, but just the Japanese restaurant. I think, yeah. It had the Izumi. I can't remember if it had the hibachi tables or not. Maybe not. I've looked to the left. But what else did it have? It had, of course, the Lido deck was a little smaller. It had like loungers, plush loungers throughout. Really, really cute ship. So let's get back into the comments really quickly, see if there were any questions about Jewel. But yes, the casino, outside of the loveliness of the ship, definitely found the ship charming. It had everything. Oh, the solarium was one of the things that was very unique solarium. So like sometimes the older ships have that personality with like that. I don't know if y'all remember like back in the day, and I'm sounding crazy, talking some back in the day being my age, but like back in the day when like cruise ship had those like really crazy gaudy features. So the solarium has this kind of feeling that it's almost like the solariums on MSC, the jungle pool on MSC. Jewel of the Seas pool or solarium area feels just like an MSC jungle pool. So that was cool too. Like it had like a big golden elephant, which I know it sounds kind of gaudy, but it actually kind of worked. So let's see what else we got in comments before I keep going about Jewel of the Seas. Folks are speaking to Keisha H. Only y'all says you gotta love to play. The casino is not for everyone, nor for the cheap. Yes. So I'll touch a little bit into that too. So that was the thing. Like this time around, like on Star of the Seas, I was actually having fun in the casino. Like I had a really good session in the casino. And even like my sucky session, which was I think the second day in the evening, I think wasn't that great. It was a slow session. I still had fun. There were like multiple games that I could get on and kind of work on my bankroll. Literally, I feel like on Jewel, there was a set of maybe 8 slots against the wall that were hitting. And then Wheel of Fortune was hitting like $5 bets. And I got that tip for a guy who was watching me play. And he was like, you know what? I actually had, because I was like complaining. I was like, you know what? I've been having really bad luck. Not bad luck, but I just felt like it wasn't paying out too much. And he was like, oh, you're playing $1 right there. He said, I had really good luck playing $5 on that same machine. Baby, I cranked that bet up to $5, and within a few rolls, I hit $340. Yes, I did. But I don't know. It just felt like the points were harder to get this cruise. So I decided to, instead of like forcing it, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to stop at 401 points, which the 400 usually gets you that free, free cruise offer. Instant cruise offer, excuse me. You get the instant cruise offer mailer under your door, which it's not necessarily a free cruise, just depends on what the offers are rolling in. But I played enough to get that, and then I stopped because there was only like 2 machines that were really, 2 impossible machines that were really like doing anything for me. So casino wise, the casino was a little tight on Jewel, but the ship definitely made up for it for me. I want to go, yo, since she was fighting. See, while you were fighting for your life on Utopia 2. Oh, so was it crowded in that casino on Utopia? Jewel, I would say, even though it was a ship on the offers, the casino offers, the casino was not super crowded. But I literally said like there were like 8 machines that felt like they were hidden, at least in the. And I tried to hop over to the smoking section. Now, I will say they did a really good job of like, even though it was in one space, they really good job of keeping like the smoking on the smoking side and the non-smoking. But I tried to hop over to the smoking side, but it was too, because sometimes I think the machines are a little more generous in the smoking side, but I don't know. On a go, yo, since I've been dodging Jewel, listening to a casino buddy of mine, I would definitely put her on the list. I think it's worth a try. It definitely surprised me. So they have a wine bar, which y'all know how I feel about that. What other element? They had a wine bar. They had it was another element that I wanted to tell y'all about. Wine bar. They had they had 2 different like sports areas. So there was a sports bar. It was not Playmakers at all. But they had like a little sports bar set up in one section of the ship. They even had like a little happy hour situation on boarding day. So I would say that's something to look out for on Royal. It was offering $6 margaritas from like 4 to 6 p.m. on the first day. And I think they offered it one more time. But they had a sports bar. They were funneling the sound for the games through, particularly on Saturday for college football. On Sunday, they actually had the games. They showed the game on the Lido deck, which was cool, which I love about cruising during football season. But yeah, it was like well-maintained ship. The only like downside for me was they had some situations with the elevators. 2 of the elevators, particularly in the mid, I think, of the ship, I believe they only have like forward and mid elevators, or maybe they have more, but I believe the mid area elevators, the elevators in the Centrum, 2 kept breaking down. So if you caught the elevators in the middle of the ship, you had to experience a wait. But I just started getting hip, and I would start catching the forward elevators. What I say, the central elevators will keep breaking down, but the forward elevators were actually moving faster and were emptier because everybody was kind of catching an elevator in the middle of the ship. All right, let's get back into the comments. You got Sig, the solo cruiser here. Welcome in, Sig. Thanks for being here. Ken Hill, welcome in, Ken Hill. He says, I finally got to say hi. I was ready to call YouTube and ask how you going to block me. No. I don't think you're blocked on YouTube. Or are you just talking about you haven't seen me in a while? Yeah, no, I think after my live stream on Jewel, I just kind of did the couple things. But I was planning to go live again on Wonder. On Jewel, I hit the wrong live stream button. So I live streamed from my Wonder setup. And then once I got the news about all things that were going on, I just kind of like fell back a little bit in regards to production. Big Murph says, "Oh, so the more you bet, the more they let you win." Well, that's the thing, Murph, about the whole slot. You have to find like the sweet spot in a slot, if that makes sense. So, when I was on Star, probably the way I was accumulating a lot of points too was like they had some good payouts of like 2 points, 3 points. For some reason, the machines that were actually making noise, I guess, quote unquote, hitting against the wall, they were only hitting like the 40 and 80 cent bets. However, Wheel of Fortune wasn't doing nothing at $1, but apparently it was paying out at the 5 and the 7 and 9. So it's like you have to kind of play around with the buttons and the denominations to figure out like what are the sweet spots, and then like talking to other casino players, because if the dude hadn't walked past me who was on Wheel of Fortune and I was, being pleasant and talked back to him, like he was the one who was kind of like, "Oh, you got to go up." And he was like, "I was hitting yesterday on that machine." So as soon as I went up, they hadn't recalibrated yet. But that was probably my best hit. I think my most memorable hits was 346 on Wheel of Fortune. And then one of them wheel games, I hit $96. So not as much, like not too big hits, but some nice money to recycle in the casino, basically playing it back just to get points. Arnadisha says, "I didn't have that much luck on Wonder this time around." Oh yeah, because Arnadisha was on Wonder on 1017. So good to know. Maybe like Royal just like tightened off his machines. But when I say Star was, I don't know if I was really hitting on Star, but I guess I was, because I came home with like $1,300. I started with $800. I came home with $1,300. This time I started with $850 and I came home with $600. So, and that was probably like 2 good days of play. I got in the casino early, which is probably a thing. Don't go to the casino too early on the first night. I was too excited. And then I had a really good session the morning and the afternoon of the second day. And I think once I hit 400, I literally saw 401 points. I went to go confirm it with the casino host, and I was done because it was like pulling teeth to get to that 401 points. But it puts me in a good position. I still need about 1,300 points or so to get to Prime, if I'm doing the math correctly. So I'm debating, but I think right now, I feel like I might still try to go for Prime. But when I got off of Jewel, I was like, I don't even know if Prime is worth it. All right, let's see. On the go, Yellow says, "No, the casino was not crowded, but baby, she was tight. And that $15 minimum." And then Yellow says, which I've been hearing about Utopia a lot. She said the ship was loud everywhere. Wow. Royal is trying to like overcompensate for that party vibe. Jewel wasn't loud. Like my cabin was weirdly situated where I was getting a lot of like construction noise. Like it was just banging at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, like hammering the floor or something. And it happened like at least 2 of the 3 nights, I think. But around the ship, it wasn't like no super crazy cruisers, no really memorable stories. Royal was rolling out that whole birthday party thing, which, if I could be honest with y'all, the birthday situation seems weird, because I'm like, is it Royal Caribbean's birthday? Or I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be like a draw to like get you to come on board Royal and celebrate your birthday. So they had like a big birthday party in the atrium. I missed it. In regards to the entertainment, they had a Latin band. That was the first night. And I think the second night, heavy on the Latin music. But the folks were on the dance floor. Like the folks were really on the dance floor. The Caribbean band was okay. I feel like I've seen better Royal entertainment. But I really just enjoyed being on that ship. And I would get on it again. Who else we got here? Cruising Capers is speaking. My good soror, Natalie, says the way you describe Jewel is how I describe Radiance. And see, Radiance is on my list for, not list, but it's one of my casino offers. I have a choice. Actually, I have an announcement for channel members. But she says, we are going in December on our first cruise. Wait, okay, I'm just going to let y'all know. I booked Radiance for December 15th. Are y'all on that sailing? That'll be fun. I think, let me make sure. because I have booked my next couple offers, and in my head, my plan is to. I told you I need like 1,300 points. So I think my plan is to, like, my first cruise try to get to 329 points, and then the next two cruises try to just play out 500, and that should get me right into Prime. But let me see. I booked Radiance because I'm gonna be mad if it's not. Yeah, December 15th. I booked Radiance, so it'll be cool if we were back on the same ship again, Sora Natalie. On the Go Yellow says reminds me of Serenade. I haven't, like, I see some of these ships and I have to like go watch a travel vlog because, like, I know what all the big ships look like, but when you start getting into the other ones, I'm kind of like, okay, what does that ship look like? In my head, I just don't want the Enchantment experience again. And Enchantment of the Seas was Tui. Oh, okay. Ken Hill said the YouTube system was going down. Yeah, it was something funky happening all day today with technology. Peloton was down for a bit. The technology I used for teaching my course was down. So I don't know what was going on. On the Go Yellow says it's Royal Caribbean's birthday. Okay. Because I'm like, they aren't really clear. It's just kind of like, come on and celebrate a birthday with us. And they had like this big blow up birthday thing. And they were like, oh, I'm going to have a birthday party. But they weren't like, I don't know. I didn't see them. Which birthday is it for Royal? Let me know. Big Mars Life says, I thought on Royal you get 1 point per 5. Yes, you are correct. You get 1 point per every $5 spent in the casino. What do you mean it was hard to get points to go around? Oh, so when I said hard to get points, because I wasn't hitting, it was more money coming out of my pocket. And because, like, the setting to get, because you think is like, yes, you can play the $5, was it 1 point for $5, but the reality of the situation is like, you don't want all the money to come out of your pocket. So like I said, when I was on Star of the Seas, I came in with $850 and I left with $1,300 and 750 points. So I think that was an amazing casino session where, like, I made money and I made a whole buttload of points. Well, I think honestly, if I look, but in hindsight, I would have stayed and played more on Star because I was doing pretty well. Whereas Jewel, I came in with $850. I walked off with $600, I believe, and I only had 401 points. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It just felt like, I don't know. It just felt like, I guess because I didn't walk off with more money. It just felt like a tougher session. And I don't know, maybe the casino heads could explain that a little more. But yes, you're right, Murph, for sure. You do get 1 point per $5 spent on Royal. But at some point you want to like hit and like start using their money. Nicole said, hey, Nicole says, how was your last cruise? It was good. It was really good. And I would have totally, another highlight was the Caribbean night. So I did the Caribbean, my little hungry self. I did the Caribbean night in the buffet and turned around and did the Caribbean night in the main dining room. And I was impressed with the options for sure. I think I kind of like I like the buffet in the main dining room a little more than, the buffet in the Windjammer, the options for Caribbean night more than I like the offerings in the main dining room. But overall, it was a really good cruise. A little slow in the beginning because I had that family event. And then the second day was perfect day at Coco Cay. I did not get off the ship for 2 reasons, trying to navigate family situation. And then it literally rained the whole day at Coco Cay. So I just stayed on the ship. My third day, or I think was it the third day? I can't remember. But I think so, was Bimini. And it was interesting to visit Bimini and not be on Virgin Voyages, which I was kind of like, okay, what do I do? But I was actually doing some homework for the Ultimate Solo Group Cruise because I think I'm going to be, we have 3 different tracks of things to do in Bimini. So I was kind of scouting for the activity that's going to be off the ship that I'm leading for that portion of the cruise. And yeah, just say it was a little interesting to scout for Bimini. And if you are in that group, look in the Facebook group at some point. I'm going to kind of put more information because like I have a couple ideas, but I gotta see what the vibes of the group are. But about what we should do in Bimini, based on my explorations. But the last day was very nice in Bimini. And I got to do explore. Usually I go left and go down to the Bimini Beach Club. That day I got in a cab, which was only $5 per person. And I got to see another part of the island that I typically don't see when I'm on Virgin. So that was cool. Thanks for asking, Nicole. But yeah, I would have definitely, my plan was to do Jewel. I was going to do Wonder. And then I played enough that I was going to play enough on Jewel so that I can extend my cruise to 1017. And I really wanted to do a back-to-back on Wonder. But Jewel of the Seas ended up being one of my offers for 1017, but I just couldn't take it. Okay, so you get to get on earlier. Okay, good to know. Yeah, it would have been cool if we were on the same time, because it's more fun, the casino, when you have like people to play with or people released in there to talk to you at the casino bar. And like the first day I didn't really talk to a whole bunch of people, but like the second day I found this lady near her machine was hidden, my machine was hidden. So that made it a little fun. But oh dang, I'm sorry. Something trying to attack me. Sorry, some net like flew right in my face. It would have been cool to like hang out and see how y'all were doing points wise. Nicole says, oh, Instacart was down today too. Strange. Yeah, a lot of networks were down. I think Amazon was down. I don't know. My students were telling me that one of the companies, I guess it's tied to everything, laid off a bunch of workers to try to replace them with AI. And I guess somebody was like, we got the cheat code. So we don't work, nobody works. But I don't know if you might want to fact check that, but a lot of technology glitches today. On to go yellow says, right, Murph. Technically 400 points for $5 is 2,000. Yeah. And I know I ain't spent 5,000 during let me slow down. Only Go Yellow says the math is technically 400 points times $5 is $2,000 for 400 points. But yeah, I can tell you there was no way I not spend $2,000. Well, I probably spent $2,000, but cycling and back, for sure. So yeah, but the reason why I was like, let me get off the table is because I did not want to spend. And Murph says, so plan to spend $2,000 off the rip. Well, I would say the plan is to cycle back your winnings, or pocket what you win. And what I do, like, so even though I came off, I was basically cycling my winnings. I came off with $600. I put that back in a account that has like some interest on it. And then when I'm ready for my next casino cruise, I'm just going to pull that money out and I'll have it for the next one. But yes, that is definitely the math. But the reason why I pulled up, it was like, let me just stop at the 401 because I knew I'll get the one offer, the instant offer at least, is because I did not want to like go down the rabbit hole of spending a whole bunch of money. And hope that helps. And thank you, Yellow, for the math. Only Go Yellow says, Ken, I think YouTube was the only internet working. Yes, because I was running videos on YouTube throughout the day and didn't have any issues now, but everything else wasn't working. Like Peloton, I was going to do one class and it was like, nope. Natalie says, we were on Star during the birthday celebration and it was also my birthday. Oh, okay. So cool. It has a nice touch when it's actually your birthday. Now, did they serve cake at the birthday party? Because I didn't stay up and actually attend the birthday, but I did see they had a big blow up birthday thing. And then I saw a bunch of people were wearing, what do they call, like birthday sashes. So if you do one of those sailings, I'm not sure if Natalie, did Royal provide the sash? I'm not sure if Royal provided the sash or people bringing their own sashes. But I guess that makes more sense now that Royal celebrated birthday and they're asking you to celebrate one too. I thought they were just like, here's the birthday sailings. Murph says, which would be kind of cool. What if like Royal did like each ship during a month does like 1 month that like, one day, one cruise that's like dedicated to like the birthday people. And like crank up the notch a little bit on the entertainment. I think that would be dope. But feel free to take that one, Royal. Only thing I ask is for complimentary sailing on Legend. Love you, thanks. Murph says, I see what you mean now. See, I thought I was missing something. Yeah, no. So yeah, you have a budget, and then you decide like how much do you want to like dig in your pocket or donate back. Yeah. And this is, thank you, Yellow. Yellow says, Murph, you want your money to recycle. When I played with $2, I would close with 2K points at least. Whoa. And see, that's the thing too. I gotta find the like, what is it? The happy medium. I was a little all over the place in my approach. When I was on Star, I think I had a more consistent strategy. Also found more machines that I actually liked to at least sit and play with on Star. But yeah, I for this one, I was definitely kind of like, I kind of went on watching like all the casino, the casino YouTubers who, if you sit and watch them YouTubers, they actually lose a ton of money. But I was sitting there watching them, and so I think I like came out the back. I was a little too aggressive with my strategy. Like I went over to the higher limit. I hit $6 rounds a couple times, like off the bat before I built my bankroll. So yeah, I think I would definitely stick to my strategy a little better next time. On the Go Yellow says, I can't wait to try Bimini. You haven't been at all? Not even on a Royal Ship? My first time at Bimini actually was on Carnival. I was on, I think, the first or second sailing for Carnival that made like Bimini became like a port. I think I was on the first or second sailing for that. I think that's correct. At least that's what they were telling me. Versus Gachi, maybe that's why I could never make it in the casino when I was on Star. I would have lost all my little money. I just need to watch folks try first before I try to look. Yes, watch folks, go with the strategy. The strategy that worked for me on Star was take whatever your budget is. They say the budget for your whole, like whatever you brought, just gamble. But I say like take your budget for that session. So sometimes I walk down to the casino and I'm like, okay, for this session, I don't want to go over now. I still might not hit it, but like, okay, for this session, I don't want to go over, I might bring 300 with me or 200 with me. Like I don't bring all my money down at once because that's a recipe for disaster. I know for me. So I might be like, okay, first night, I'm going to bring 200 down to the casino, 300 down to the casino. And then I'll only play 1% of that. Whenever I hit really big on a smaller machine, I like to go to particularly Wheel of Fortune and try to hit on Wheel of Fortune, cash out, and then take that to a different machine. And then eventually I have like my little rotation of like 5 or 6 machines. And when I get lucky, I take it and rotate. And that kind of was good for me on Star. I don't know what the hell I was doing on Jewel. It was just vibes, I guess, on Jewel. Thank you, Mickey. Welcome in. Mickey said, hit the thumbs up, please. Would greatly appreciate it. And hello, Team Replay. If you're catching this on tomorrow or the next day and the next day, welcome in. Be sure to leave the comments so I know that you are here. And also, if you're watching, just hit that thumbs up when you get a chance, just to let the algorithm know this is worthwhile content. Much appreciated. Ardisha says there are cupcakes in the Windjammer. Noted. Who else we got? Yellow says Buffalo and Dan. They don't like me either. Buffalo and Dancing Drums hate me. I like the Link, Fire Link, I think was the one that I really enjoyed on Star. Because I got it. Like I have to understand the icons. The machine has to look pretty to me. Jewel had a lot of the older machines, which I heard sometimes those are the machines to play with, but I jumped on a couple of them and I was like, ugh. I didn't understand like what the icons meant to get me any winnings. But that day, Buffalo and Dancing Drums, they don't do it for me. So far it's been the Link games. Natalie says on the birthday, they had birthday balloons during the balloon drop, and they had cake on the first day in the Windjammer. Who would know? They need to bring that cake downstairs. Cruising Caper says I always hit big on Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I hit big in Atlantis on Wheel of Fortune, and I didn't know how to gamble right. My mom almost had like a stroke. I was playing, and I think Wheel of Fortune, and I didn't realize like how to do I had extra games or something, and I hit 600 and just hit cash out instead of letting the extra games roll. My mom almost had a fit. Gina's World says her games are Double Blessings, Dancing Drums, and Hufflepuff. I like Hufflepuff. I like Huff and Puff a lot. And I understand Huff and Puff. Like, I like games that like visually make sense. And I like to play my games loud. Like, turn the volume all the way up. Because I think that just gets me in the mood a little more. On the Go Yellow says I'm trying to like Huff and Puff, but after this trip, I think that Wolf in the same category as the others. Dang. Ken Hill is saying, where's Catherine with the royal hookups? I don't know. Maybe she's watching the replay. Who knows? On the Go Yellow says, Mighty Cash and the Firecrackers are my go-to, and the Dragon Links. Yeah. And Gina's World says, none of the links like me. Oh, dang it. So that was a kind of wrap on Jewel. I think if it pops up in your casino deals, but I will also say there's a regular selling too. Like, they had a room, because I was kind of debating because I was kind of like, I wanted to extend my trip from like to go through like the 20th, honestly. So I was kind of looking at what the cost of Jewel would be if I paid it outright. They had which I didn't know Royal had, they had a solo cabin for $511. So I mean, that's not bad for a 3-day cruise. So sometimes you can find some good deals out there, even beyond that. But yeah, I don't think Radiance. I don't think Jewel or Radiance would necessarily be like ships that if I didn't have offers for, that I would be hopping on. But it's good to know that like when you get on them, it's not just, like a blah kind of experience. Chris Caper says the Mardi Gras, I hit the mega. Woo, I would have passed out on not Mardi Gras, Jubilee. When I was on Carnival Jubilee, there were people who were literally like hitting all around me. Like, there was one guy who hit like 6,000. There was one young lady who hit like 1,500. Like, I saw some big wins on Jubilee. I don't think, not so much on Jewel. There was a guy on Star who was literally playing like $100 rolls. So, and of course, like, he was getting hand pays left and right. But yeah, I don't think my heart could take $100 roll. Like a $6 roll, and I was kind of like, all right, I'm gonna do 3 of these and get on out of here. On the Go Yellow says, I hit the major last week. That gave me some of my money back. Yep, it is helpful. Parks and Go says, none of them like me, so I'm just planning to throw a $20 overboard. And don't forget to play your, what is it called, the free play that you have. I think I was watching Quanda, or was it her stories from Damien and Quanda Experience? She had $36 off of her, I think she said $6 free play. So don't forget your free play. All right, so let's quickly transition to Greece. I played. I don't, the 20, and see, like, I would like, I'm sorry, I gotta go back to $20. I'm like, the 20, I don't know how to play slow with the $20. Like, if I could do $20, is it play on 40 cent? Because I want to be there a while. Because I wouldn't know how to get up. So teach me how you stretch $20, Siobhan. That was another thing before we go to Greece. My first thing was, I was like, oh, I'm going to try the $20 method, 5 20s, play it out, see if you can double the $20 or whatever, and then move on to the next thing. And I think I got to 60 and was like, this method is BS. So tell me how to stretch out $20, Siobhan, because Lord, I feel like I went through the $20 and it gone. Go Yellow says, on Jubilee pay all around for me. Oh, Jubilee pay all around me. Dude next to me play $100 roll, and hit 3,000. He hit 4,000 4 times, a total of $9,000. Wow. And then somebody in one of them groups, I'm not sure, people were trying to call it out as cap. Somebody was asking about like tax information, I guess, in one of the little casino groups that I follow. So let's go to Greece. So as you all know, on Sunday, I premiered my final vlog in the Greece Disney Cruise series, which focused on island hopping. So I guess I can call that island hopping, basically port hopping in Greece. And I guess a high level summary is I could totally see. So I was on Disney Fantasy, which it was interesting. That was my first cruise on Disney as a solo. It was 7 days, and so I was kind of curious of like, am I going to be bored? What is this going to be like as an adult on Disney? But I feel like I learned some really good feedback in regards to like how to navigate the ports. I also will say, like, I'm not getting off this ship feeling super tired. So I learned just kind of like watching some of the other YouTubers who've been to Greece that, those cruises are very port intensive. They can be pretty like tiring. During my trip, I noticed that most of the excursions are to start, like you got to report at 6:30, 7:30 call times. So my first port stop in Greece was, and you probably want to also have a plan because that's where I messed up. I literally booked that trip within a week of having to fly out. I had no, what's it called? Excursions booked. No excursions booked. And so I was like, okay, thinking I had the mindset of like the Caribbean where like, okay, no excursions booked, I can wing it. Well, it was a reminder that when you do the Mediterranean ports, be prepared for you're going to have to catch a shuttle. Not all the ports are kind of like the Caribbean where there's stuff just right around it. You're going to have to like figure out transportation. A lot of times it's industrial areas. So you have to get off the industrial port to get where you're going. There's frequently not a lot of stuff just immediately around. So to get in comments, and I'll go kind of port by port. Our first stop was Crete, or called Hania, which is spelled Chania, but it's pronounced Hania. Yolo says hand pays are taxed, table wins are not. Good to know. Gina's World says I had a few friends do a land trip to Greece. They took a few ferries. Seems you're always living out of your suitcase. Yeah. Now I will say, having done the cruise, while I'm kind of like, I don't really want to go back to Greece, but I would go back because I've been twice now. I have a vlog out if anybody wants to go back and watch it. I did a vlog. I did a mileage run one year, and it's called like 24 Hours in Greece. So I flew to Greece just for a mileage run. And but this time I was able to kind of see different ports, and it actually piqued my interest in regards to island hopping, particularly because like the ferries are right there. I heard they're kind of cheap. Now it will be a matter of like trying to figure out like where to stay, but I really enjoyed the beach club culture that was in Greece. So my first port stop was Crete. Didn't do any research. The Disney cruise shuttle will drop you off literally at a random corner. So I remember I got off this bus and there were no like markers around me. And so I think it was a hair salon that I took the address for because I was like, I'm going to wander around. But if I don't remember anything about how to get back to this bus, I'm going to take the address of the hair salon. That way, like if I need to jump in a cab to get back, or if I get confused walking, I'll at least have an address to walk to. So that's just FYI. I'm not sure if the other cruise lines are like that, but for Crete, Disney Cruise Line will drop you off at a random corner. Because I remember all of us get off the bus kind of like, is this it? So if you are in the same situation where they drop you off at a random corner in town, just take the local address of like something memorable nearby. As I was walking, apparently I could have made a right and headed to a beach club in Crete, or I could have made a left. And so I made a left. I was kind of following the crowd, and I ended up in like their harbor area. They had some relatively decent priced glass bottom boats. It was a lot of shops. There was a hammam there, but pretty much Crete was our longest day of the itinerary, which I was kind of hoping that Mykonos was the longest day, which again, I can see the appeal of getting on Virgin Voyages if you want to do cruising. I think now, like, I'm kind of like, I would love to fly into Athens and maybe pick a couple of islands and try to do like 2 or 3 days at each, and basically do beach club hopping. But that was day one in Crete. All right, I'm getting the comments, and then our next port stop was Mykonos. Jen's World says, I think I would prefer cruising Greece. Yeah, I would say try it on Virgin because you get those longer port days. What day was that? It was Pompeii or Naples, so not Greece, it was Rome. On our last day. what was I say? Royal Caribbean was in port, but I'm not sure like what the other itineraries look like. I know I was watching MH Family Adventures vlog on Greece and on Celestial Journey. And she mentioned, or she in the chat during my premiere, and she was saying that she was in port. They were in port from like 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. So apparently there are some lines that allow you to have like a longer stay in port. But you're definitely gonna need it for like those beach clubs. The beach club vibe in the day, a lot of times are like very family friendly. If you want that like DJ atmosphere, then you got to stay till at least 4:30. And so most crews, or at least Disney, I won't say most, Disney, for the most part, we had to be back by 5. I think it was 8 for Crete. So you really didn't get that full kind of, you got the plush lounger of a beach club, but not the like full element of like the party environment of the beach club, if that makes sense. Parker's on the go. Siobhan says, girl, if that machine don't pay out anything by $5, I get up and leave. Don't follow my strategy. I love we all have strategies though. Like the thing is you gotta find a strategy that works for you and stick to it. Because again, I love my strategy for Star. I was watching them people on the slot players on YouTube and got completely out of casino character on Jewel, and I felt it. So whatever your strategy is, strategize and stick to it. We're heading in. So if that $5 situation that worked for you, get up and find another machine. Because the worst thing you can be on is a machine that's like dead. It ain't coming to life no time soon. So I definitely appreciate that one. Like, don't be stuck at the dead machine. You got like, one of the strategies I love is like set a dollar amount. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna play till I get to $70. I'm gonna play till I get $75, and then see how you feel. If you ain't having fun no more, and the machine ain't talking to you no more, get up. Oh, to go, Yo says, I think so too, Gina. But it seems like the only way to really see the islands. Victoria says, I'm going on my first solo Disney cruise next year. Woo, definitely excited. How many days, Victoria? So a tip that I will say for Disney for adults is I was pretty like, I want to say I wasn't lonely, but I was like by myself, if that makes sense. So I wasn't like, I didn't miss a whole bunch of people, but pretty much I was by myself all day until time for dinner. Now, when you are on Disney, they will put solo cruises together. Excuse me. So that was awesome because like I will say my table mates, every night we came back and we like had a great conversation, like catching up, talking about the day. People were telling me about their excursions, the excursions that they liked, the excursions that they didn't like. But like our solo group, like I've been on cruises where sometimes like after dinner or like the group will gel and eventually you find yourself hanging out throughout the cruise or hanging out after dinner. Like it was kind of like our boundaries were we're at dinner and then see y'all tomorrow at dinner, you know? So it'll be interesting to see what itinerary and how long. And congratulations on your first solo Disney cruise. But I will say it does not cancel the magic. I was still feeling like a big kid. I had my ears. I watched all the Disney movies. So definitely there are some moments for solos on Disney. And definitely do the cocktail presentations and book them early. Yellow and Shermana going back and forth about casino strategy. Ken says Monday Night Football or Carlene. Look, Ken, don't let me twist your arm. You can catch the replay later. I know I'm standing in between you and somebody's team. Who else here? Victoria says she's going on. You're going on a new ship. Going on 4 days, Disney Destiny. Didn't want to do too long a cruise. Yes. Now, I agree with that because my first Disney cruise was 3 days on Disney Wish when it was new, when it was a new ship. I will say like 3 days was short, particularly because I was with friends. So it was like, I want to see my friends and explore everything, but it was too short. But I think that 7 day is kind of like royal. Like sometimes people are celebrity. Like you might want to ease into it with a short one for solo because that experience can change really quickly. So I think you have an amazing strategy and come back and let us know how it is on Disney Destiny and your first Disney solo cruise. All right, so the piece de resistance was that girl, Mykonos. Mykonos has a special place in my heart. It's definitely a place I want to go back and spend like 3-4 days. And again, like the whole the beach club culture. So the probably the best thing, and I'm going to provide this to channel members for Mykonos, was that like they have this whole bus system that runs 24 hours essentially, just different times. So like at the prime time, it might run like every 30 minutes or so. And then I think like in the wee hours of the morning, like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, it might start running every hour. But they have these buses that are pretty cheap, like €4, something like that, that run you to different sides of town where the beach clubs are, etc. So you can pick whatever vibe. So you all saw, I went to Paradise or Super Paradise, I can't remember. I went to Paradise Beach Club, and there's a booth. There's a booth in the middle of the town. I think that's Fabrica Square. That, will kind of tell you, you can buy your ticket, give you some information. You might not want to hold the line too much. You might want to do some research. I wanted to go to the Paranga area. I can't remember the beach club that I was trying to go to, but I had got lost getting up to the bus area, so I was running out of time. So I had to switch, and I think I saw Paradise Beach Club on Life with Us TV, I believe, their vlog. I think that was Paradise Beach Club. It looked kind of different though. But anyway, so I was kind of like, oh, I heard this one before. So I was like, let me just, and the lady was like, well, their bus is next. So I was kind of like, I saw this one before and I can just hop on the bus. And it was like maybe a 20-minute ride. And I was at Paradise Beach Club. And similar, like when I got there was a family in front of me. The mom immediately asked, she was like, is it appropriate to bring a kid here? And the lady was like, oh yeah, it's family friendly. She said the shenanigans kind of didn't start happening until later in the day. So that's just FYI, if you cruise Disney, or if you're in Greece doing the beach clubs. A lot of the beach clubs, and my beach club for Athens was pretty family friendly during the day. You could tell it might have like a party atmosphere later, just kind of like the setup and looking at some of the flyers around the venue. But a lot of the beach clubs are pretty much family friendly in the daytime before they bring in like their EDM, those kind of DJs. On to go, Yellow says, definitely want to go back to Mykonos. Santorini is beautiful, but And see, I've been hearing that in Santorini. I keep hearing that feedback. I kind of want to see it to check the box. It was not a stop on my cruise. Santorini was not a stop on this cruise. But I kind of want to see it. But I keep getting the feedback that Santorini isn't all that great. So I hope you all enjoyed like my kind of recap of my first casino cruise, which is on Jewel of the Seas. Hope you enjoyed my kind of rundown to the behind the scenes information related to my Greek Isle cruise. Of course, we have some church announcements and also talk about some upcoming content. So here, let me see. Let's do the church announcements and I'll talk about upcoming content. Oh, wait, don't want to. Oh, wrong thing. Present. Here we go. Okay, so probably starting to wind down, taking reservations for this one, but of course, since the solo cruiser, Legendary Ill Experience and I are hosting the Ultimate Solo Group Cruise in June 2026. So as I told you all, I scouted the scene in Bimini, which is one of our port stops. But the biggest thing is that we are taking Celebrity Reflection, and we're going to do, it has a stop at Perfect Day Coco Cay, which means you got to do Hideaway. And with a group of solos, Hideaway is going to be fun. It's currently $100, I believe, per person for deposits. And that's kind of the old pricing information. If you want an updated quote, just let me know. The next one is October 9th to 11th, 2026 will be the Good Gov Getaway 2026 would be October 9th to 11th. We are going to do Epcot eating and drinking around the world. That one is you can book it however you want to book it. Just meet up so we can have a good time and vibe out in Disney, but particularly it's Food and Wine Festival time. So it's one of my favorite festivals. So join me there. You can scan that QR code to get rolled up in the information. Which should be coming soon. I've been sitting here trying to debate about hotels, and I'm debating if I want to do a hotel on property or off property. I believe because I want to make it accessible to everyone, I'll probably do off property. But stay tuned for sure for that one. If more information is coming, it's just taking me a while because Disney is very particular about their flyers. I don't want to violate any of Disney's rules. So that you can scan that for more information. Okay, backtrack. I need to put the slides back in order. I like to put them in order from when they happen. All right, so that will wrap up 2026, which will be that, what is it, Good Gov. Then 2027, because we like to plan far out. If you're like me, I love to like put a deposit down, start working on saving. I am co-hosting the Ultimate Land and Sea with these lovely ladies. Now it's open to everyone, but these are the individuals who you can book through. So there, it is a co-ed trip. But we are starting in New Orleans with all the New Orleans culture, including food and music, and then hopping on Carnival Dream, which will be fresh out of dry dock and will be New Orleans' newest ship. So they are swapping out the, who's there now? Still Valor, maybe Liberty. They're swapping out ships and bringing Carnival Dream, which will be a little bigger, I believe. So you can book with me using that QR code, or you can book through Sigga Solo Cruiser, Rockwell from MH Trinity Ventures, Siobhan from Partners on the Go, Kiki from Team Travel, or Regina from Travel Savvy Hub. Then the last cruise that I've announced so far is the Good Gov Getaway 2027, which will be in which a lot of y'all have booked. We got like 20 people so far. On the Norwegian Luna. You heard Cruise Capers talk about how lovely Aqua was. Well, Luna will be the newest ship at the time. We are going from NYC to Bermuda October 7th through the 12th, 2027. So get in a little Norwegian action. So those are the church announcements. What else we got? In regards to upcoming content. So I have, if you all remembered, I went to Portugal over the summer. I attended Afro Nation, which is a really big Afrobeats festival in the Algarve, Portimao, Portugal. So a vlog will be coming for that. Then on my way home, I had a long layover in Denmark. So there's a vlog with me solo traveling around Denmark. Support those if y'all can by watching it, y'all. I know cruising gets all the views, but it will help a little bit with the channel if y'all watch my land-based stuff. And then I think that will get us to the next trip announcement, which we'll have another trip announcement. No, we don't. I'm making up stuff. Yeah. I think we don't have a trip announcement until November. See, I'm looking at November and talk about October. All right, final comments we have on the go. Yellow says, definitely want to go back to Mykonos. Oh, I already said that one. Yellow said, have a good night. Cruising Paper saying, have a good night. Lisa T says, are there still solo cabins available? Yes, probably so. Are you talking about the Good Gov 2027 on Luna? If so, yes, there are solo cabins. The bulk of the group has booked the, what is it called? The solo studio. So we're going to have a bit of a takeover. But there are also solo ocean views and solo balconies available. So yeah, just email me at seawithc@gmail.com and I can check for you. Excuse me. And yes, Yellow, we got Denmark and Portugal content coming. So it's C with C. See you all next Monday. It'll either be a live stream or a video premiere. It's C with C. Thanks for chatting with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Good night. Have a great week.